Hi folks, if you're like me and you live in the United States, you're aware that we have a major election coming up very shortly. The big ticket item in this election is to decide who becomes the next president of the United States. I do just want to throw this out there that no matter who becomes president, pay close attention to the elected offices that are very local to you. Your local politicians have a far, far greater effect on your day-to-day life than the President of the United States does. So much gets affected where money gets directed in your local community, whether historic neighborhoods get torn down in favor of condos, or money goes more to schools, or more towards giving a tax break to a multinational corporation that's set up shop because you gave them property tax breaks. And not to go off on a tangent here, but pay attention to the local races for elected office on your ballot. Local politicians greatly influence or greatly affect your day-to-day life in a much more significant way than a national office holder does. Do your research. Please vote intelligently. However you vote, please make an informed vote. If you're just going to wing it and you really can't make an informed vote, man, don't vote. Uninformed votes are really, really bad for not only for the country but for your local community. Know who you're voting for and why. Understand the ballot initiatives that you're voting in favor of or against and why. Just to make an informed vote and pay real bit close attention to the local ones. Don't just go and vote because it's like, oh, there's a presidential election here, I got to vote for my party's representative, and then just randomly tick boxes for the rest of them. It's the rest of them that really affect your day-to-day life. Good luck, and I hope things play out for you the way you want. Hey there, vinyl community. My name's Tom. You're watching Rant District, and today I want to do a little show and tell of what's been spinning lately. And let's just get right to it. I think I got a dozen albums here. Starting off with Chrome, Half Machine Lip Moves. I never knew Chrome, and Aaron, the metal theologian, started showing it and talking about it in a recent video, and then Chris at Mabuhay Ka went on about Chrome and the next album I'm going to show, and also I think Vinyl Richie has done some show and tell on Chrome and the next album, the next artist anyway. So anyway, this is from the fourth album by Chrome. It's considered, people call it experimental, which I kind of hate that tag, because it's not experimental, it's just music, and it's not an experiment, it worked. Punk, it's very punk, acidy punk, I guess. It's from 1979 on Siren Records. Came with a little insert, fold-out insert. It's got some liner notes, might be lyrics, I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to the fold-out yet. My old eyes and the small print. And let's see, again, that's on, see that? That's Siren Records. And that came out in 1979, and then singer Helios Creed put out his debut album, X-Rated Fairy Tales, on Subterranean Records in the mid-'80s, 1985-ish. There's a look at the back. And it's along the lines of the original Chrome. It's got a lot more, it's very kind of synthy. It's mid-'80s, so it's got a very mid-'80s effect in there. I mostly dig this album. There are parts that are a little 80-ish ham-fisted, or maybe it was trying to. It just feels to me that it was just trying to maybe fit a little bit more, which is weird because most of the album is like really, really strong, but there's just those little bits that are like a little too synthy that feel just a little out of place. Anyway, it came with a insert so you can buy some more records from Subterranean Records. And this was a pretty easy album to pick up. I actually bought a sealed copy, and it came in some different colors. I didn't know the color when I got it. The seller didn't know the color because it was sealed. It came in black, which was ideal. All records should be black. Next up, going more towards Doom. Ozma. Second album by the Melvins. I dig the Melvins. Gotta be in the mood for them, but I dig them. Interesting, I think I touched on this with Aaron, the metal theologian. The bass player for this album is Lori Black, who is this evil person holding a cat by the tail on the insert. That's lyric insert. Anyway, so Lori Black is the daughter, I believe that she's a daughter of Shirley Temple. I don't think Shirley Temple would have approved of that photo. Anyway, I was on Boner Records from 1989. Look at the label. Next up, shifting over towards rap, we have King Ghidorah, Take Me to Your Leader. This is a gatefold album. It's a double album. Here's a look at the back. From 2003 on Big Dada Records or Recordings. Anyway, King Ghidorah was the name. King Ghidorah was the name that MF Doom took. So it's MF Doom's second album, but there's like a collective of rappers that go by Monster Island Czars, and you know, from the original cool classic Godzilla movies, the original Toho made Godzilla movies. Each of the rappers in this collective took a name from those, you know, Monster Island records. So three-headed dragon-y monster, King Ghidorah, was who MF Doom assumed. And it's a concept record. It's really, really, really cool. Sounds great, got great flow, and it's interesting, and you know, it's like a little Space Invaders-ish in spots. It's a double album. That's what the label looks like. I'll only show one. Both records have the similar labels. Great album. Next up is, you can always tell when an album is from the UK or something is going. It's got these flimsy album covers. But this is Crass, The Feeding of the 5,000. And the rear side is upside down. You're going to have to kind of flip it. So that's Crass, The Feeding of the 5,000. It's punk, anarchistic punk, I guess you would call it, from 1979 on, pretty sure that's Subterranean. Spine's blank. And not Subterranean, what am I talking about? I was just talking about Subterranean. It's on Small Wonder Records. Comes with a fold-out insert. It's got lyrics, liner notes, blah, blah, blah. It's funny, you know, here's a label. It's on Small Wonder Records. But, you know, 12-inch record, I automatically default to spinning the thing at 33 1/3. And again, I was like spinning this like shortly after. Well, first of all, I thought something was wrong, but the first song is what's it called? Sorry, I'm going off on 5 tangents here, but the first song is called Asylum. Now, this record was originally being pressed by an Irish pressing plant, who thought it was a blasphemous track and wouldn't press it. So although side A, song 1, is called Asylum, when you drop the needle, it's 2 minutes of nothing. It's 2 minutes of silence as a protest to that record plant. What the hell are they talking about? I don't know. Small Wonder, Grass, Feeding the 5,000. I don't know. I'll know when I review this thing before uploading, but I'm not doing a retake. Great album, classic punk album. Next up is a band that I'm coming to late. Sleaford Mods, Divide and Exit. This is from about 2 years ago. I've picked up a couple other things by them that I really dig. I assume it's meant to be funny. I hope so, because it's fucking hilarious. It's a duo. It's very minimalist, sort of. Want to say rapping or talking over the music, but this guy's, I don't know his name, but he's fucking hilarious. It's very working class. What do I want to say? On Harbinger sound, but it's like this Midlands kind of accent. It's a UK duo, and you just spin up something by it. It's hilarious to listen to. It's different. It's really different than a lot of the stuff I listen to. It's good stuff. It comes with the picture inner sleeve. It's a duo in a little club concert. Here's the other side, and to look at the label, it's kind of a picture from the record insert on Harbinger Sound again. And then sliding over into some old school rap. I think this is the third album by Ice-T. It's called The Iceberg, Freedom of Speech, Just Watch What You Say. And the album cover is meant to depict, the kind of being silenced or censored, and basically watch what you say. Government, Big Brother is watching you, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's on Sire, standard old Sire label. The inner sleeve is, man, I'd like to know the story behind this. There's a lot of people in these photos on the inner sleeve. Anyway, the opening track is Freedom of Speech. Shut Up, Be Happy. The opening track, Shut Up, Be Happy, is actually a spoken word by Jello Biafra, and it's really hilarious. I dig Ice-T. Almost everything he touches, music-wise, is really, really good. Good stuff. Then, he's a hardcore dude. He's got a hardcore metal band, and switching over towards, I call it hardcore metal. I don't know. Hardcore. Prong. Force-fed. Something's rattling around in there. I don't know. Here's back of the album. That's on Spigot. It's on Spigot from 1987. Comes with the heavy-duty inner sleeve. And here's a look at the label. Good, maybe you wouldn't think of a hardcore kind of relaxing you, but you listen to it and man, it just takes the edge off. And then keep on hearing Steve from Flipside CT gushing about Brian Eno all the time, so I jumped in and grabbed his debut solo album, Here Come the Warm Jets, from it's on Island Records from 1973. And I guess you can judge from there. It's it's glam. It's interesting. I like it a lot. I'm gonna dig deeper into some older Eno. There you go, Island Records, 1973. And these last couple, 1, 2, 3 records are going back in time even further here. We've got from 1969 on Atlantic Records, the classic album that I had never heard until I bought it. I only knew the one song. This is Dusty Springfield's Dusty in Memphis. Classic album, one that everybody gushes over. It's got the great song, Son of a Preacher Man. You know, it's like old, very, very soulful song, brilliant song. The thing that nobody really tells you about this record, in my opinion, came in a, it's on Atlantic. The inner sleeve has all the different albums that were out on Atlantic at the time. And there's the label. But the thing that nobody tells you, you know, you got Son of a Preacher Man, very soulful song. The rest of the album is really, really, it's really bad. It's very pop oriented. I want to say like kind of Barbara Streisand-y, and maybe I'm just not getting it. But I was thinking, man, if the rest of the album is like, you know, close to Son of a Preacher Man, this is going to be awesome. Son of a Preacher Man is awesome. The rest of the album is not. Then let's see, what do we got here? Oh yeah, classic. There's a cool thing about old country records that are, you know, considered classic records, and this one is one of them. This is Coal Miner's Daughter by Loretta Lynn from 1970 on Decca. It's a Decca logo. The thing about you know, classic quality old country records is, it's, you know, for the ones that were really great, they made bazillions of them. So even though they may be old, they're so plentiful and so inexpensive. You know, if you're thinking about getting into country, you can do it so cheap. But it's a really great album. And I cringed a little when I first got it. And here it is on Decca. But, you know, here's a closer look at the label. The thing about it, when I got it, it's like, you know, it looks fine. But, you know, it's one of those, like, so thin. It's that Dynaflex, I think it is. It's just, I'm like, man, this sucks. But I'm like, I got the original version. It's a 1970 version. I mean, like, and it's like, god damn, it sounds fine. It really, really actually sounds really good. I'm not saying it sounds good for being a, you know, shaky, thin, flimsy record. I'm just saying it sounds good, period. Great album, and very relieved that this very flexible album sounded as good as it did. Last thing I'm going to show is something that's definitely out of my wheelhouse. This is Nina Simone in concert. I was starting to watch the jazz documentary by Ken Burns. It's 10 DVDs, are each 2 hours long. It's going to take a while. It's Nina Simone in concert. It's on Philips from 1964-ish. And there's your track listing. Now, I didn't know much about the song Mississippi Goddamn. And apparently that's a song that she sang on the at the end of the march on Selma way back when. And it's a song really calling for equality and kind of ripping on a few states in the South. Now, this album apparently was banned back in 1964 at a bunch of places in the South, ostensibly because of the word "goddamn," but realistically because it was 1964 and she was calling for equality, and which clearly was a no-no. It still kind of is, apparently. Anyway, Nina Simone. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed a lot of these songs. And I had picked up a CD of hers from, you know, Goodwill CD a couple of years ago, listened to it, and just nothing caught me. But this particular album, you know, it's in concert. I think because maybe it sounds a little bit more intimate, you know, and she's talks a little bit, very slightly. But, you know, it's clearly a concert, and you know, also, like, I think the way she introduces the song is something like this is a show tune, just the show hasn't been written yet, and you almost, like, now listen to it and you cringe a little bit by the way some of it is phrased, because she's kind of being really, you know, upfront in your face, and I can't, you know, clearly it's a record, I can't see who's in the audience, But it's a daring, brave lady, and it's a great song, and it's a really solid album. Very, again, this was also really inexpensive. So anyway, there you go. You've got 12-ish albums. Did I even show that one? Oh, here we go. It's on the Philips label. So anyway, 12 records. What's been spinning lately? Got another pile over here. If I get motivated, I'll do it in a couple of days. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Talk to you later.